They leave the Luna in the pool for OG to pick up if they want it.
Oh, the
This is
swaps in the
beautiful.
bans are like to be expected because of the swap of the pick order. They need to
Yeah.
get rid of the IO and Invoker. But the first pick Terrorblade, I thought they were not gonna pick either and just like punish otherwise. If OG would pick Luna 2-3, they would pick Terrorblade. If they would not,
Exactly, yeah.
if they would pick Terrorblade, they would just punish with something else. But the first pick Terrorblade, I like the mini meta
Yes, very good.
wording.
Yeah.
Like it's like
But Milan, we just saw Kuroki play the POS 5 Razor. This could be the POS 5. No, I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, I'm not gonna exclude it. Like this is
Don't do
Kuroki
it.
we're talking about. Kuroki can do anything.
Is this then the Lion Alk? Like, are
No,
you going back for
this
that?
should not be the Alchemist, because
No.
they played the other day and
Ooh.
against Tundra and they got punished with the TB when they picked Alchemist. So they're
This
just
was-
gonna go Naga. Naga can be. This is like a bait. It is like a good matchup on TB, for
But-
at least they understand it that way, and they might still bait it into like we saw Saksa Smurf or whatever
Yep.
play Naga.
Mhm.
You know, it could be easily Naga support.
Ooh. I'm just happy the fact that we're in a game 3. You know, both of these teams are teams that we kind of realistically from the region we would expect to be at TI.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're talking about like the single game being like what can remove or what will remove one of these teams from TI contention is, it's just weird to think about. But yeah, they do go for this Naga, like Manan said. It has that flexibility of forward carry. It was one of the heroes that Nigma did ban out in the previous game when they had Terrorblade, because of course Naga is one of the better heroes. Any of the illusions really are pretty good against Terrorblade.
I really hope that Team Nigma bans the Darkseid, because like this is like the Naga response.
Oh,
Like
that's
I can
true,
see
yeah.
OG just do the Darkseid Naga off lane, counter pick the Timber on the safe lane and just roll with it. Like this is the bait you don't wanna end up in. Like picking 2 core heroes when enemies picks 2 supports, like it can be very punishing.
Especially with the Timbersaw pick, like having the Naga as your carry doesn't feel as great anymore. And the main Darkseid combination that Malan was mentioning was when you song, you can of course vacuum during it. So even if it doesn't, you don't have to have that good song. You literally just press it, run in, you find the Terrorblade, and then you always will connect the spells because you can use it during the song itself. So actually, yeah, I like that suggestion a lot.
They're gonna ban the Nyx. They're gonna ban the Puck. The Nyx is good against the Darkseid. I mean, there's only one ban left for the Team Nigma. It's scary for me. It scares me. The Seb Darkseid is like it's
game 3.
that thing scares me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see if that's what they will ban out. Because so far with the Pugna and the Puck ban, it seems like they are trying to make Miracle have a good game this game, because they're running out some of the Thompson's heroes.
They did this the previous games as well. Like that they pick like not many stuns lineup. So the Puck, especially the Thompson Puck, it's a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah.
So just getting it out of the way is good.
And the Pugna respect as well, of course. I think the early aggression that hero can bring to the table, you can 100-0 the TB before he has BKB at most points of the game. So yeah, just fully respecting what Thompson can bring and just preventing or enabling, sorry, the Terrorblade to access his own jungle early on.
We're talking a little bit about what we want to see banned out on the side of Team Nigma, that we're a bit worried about the Darkseer making an appearance on the side of OG. But what do we want to see on the side of Team Nigma? Because I'm looking at this Templar Assassin that is still in the pool for Miracle, and we have seen him crush with that, even in matchups that weren't necessarily favorable for a TAT.
I'm just trying to think of yeah, TA is okay. I think DK might be able to respect that, but TA and TB on the same team, I won't lie, Shiva, my whole brain right now is fixated on what the GH hero is. I'm trying to work out like what 4 they're going to bring, because it's like when you open up with TB and Timber and like you see these brands from OG, like I'm trying to picture like what's the GH hero right now that if it is going to be this like support Naga or whatever, this is song factor, you need a hero that can start the fight and 100-0. Like if you jump this Naga, you have to kill her pre-song. And like when you're already banging out these like kind of bigger 4s that have that stun potential, like what's left? Like Tusk, you don't want to go Phoenix or anything into a Naga anymore because of the song. Like Willow's not that great, so I'm currently racking my brain on how Nigma's going to actually be able to kill a hero right now.
I think I'm just also watching this ban from Nigma. I think it's exciting, but I think they have first pick from Team Nigma. They will just be reactionary. I can see the GH maybe play the Shadow Shaman. It's kind of decent
Ooh.
against Naga, and it's like one of his signatures. He spawns it recently,
That's true.
and like it's an okay laner. They need stuns. They have two
They
heroes
have to,
without
yeah.
any stuns, so they want to pick it up. Or they ban the Enigma.
Ooh.
Enigma Naga is also like historically very hard to
Yeah.
deal with. Enigma is also Seb's famous hero. This way or another. Sometimes.
One of the purple heroes is getting through it, right? It's the Dark Hero, the Enigma. Okay, they got one of them, but will they pick it? You know.
This ban is gonna be telling. This ban on OG is gonna tell their idea what they wanna do second phase.
Like, is it going to be another position 4? Because like they've already shown a lot of respect to GH, and I think that's the main thing here. When you pick a Timbersaw in first phase, the 4 role becomes so nice. Maybe Milan can agree here, because it's like you can pick the perfect hero to roam or do anything because you are kind of freed up in the game. So you want to have some type of like decent matchup to be able to kill mid or to bully that 5, and that's why I think OG is just using all the bans on this 4 position.
And if you're expecting a Darkseer on the side of OG, should they use this ban to protect the Darkseer maybe a little bit more? We often see Oracles against Darkseers, get rid of the Iron Shells in the lane, make him have a lot slower game.
Oracle is cool, but Darkseer specialists like 3-3 or some of them would say they can play against it. It's not like the end of the world. I think OG is gonna pick up either the carry or the offlane now, because they see these 2 matchups. I think they wanna keep the Naga flex going a bit. So probably offlaner right here.
And then they banned the Tiny as well, because of course Miracle played that before, and it still can be that 4 roll. But when Miracle played it the other day, it's devastating. They go for a Sand King.
It's a quite a similar line of thought, like a heavy magic damage good in lane versus TB.
Is this where OG gets like super creative? You know, the wombo combo. Like Darks is still on the table right now, in my opinion. You know, like we're big fans of it, but like imagine like the song into Darkseer, SK, Lion, some like casual SK mid or something. Even Naga carry.
Was it SK mid for Thompson or for Miracle when we saw it for the first time around?
It was Miracle,
right?
In the DPC, Miracle was playing it.
But it could just be Naga
quite
carry, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and it just maybe they worried a bit about it Oracle or Ench coming out.
That's true.
But
they could just be happy with just like SK Naga as a lane itself.
They should probably pick a GH hero now. I'm just thinking that what to timber besides the Shadow Shaman
for the bench. Yeah, something they've always paired with the Terrorblade. They mentioned it during game 1. Just the aura helps with the TV.
Drow Ranger.
And they go for Drow, yeah. Of course, Drow is very good against TB because your aura just cuts through the armor of TB. And I think if you have Sand King and Naga, you're always going to be able to kind of protect her in a way through song or just through just having bodies in front of her. Gives you a good lane against Timbersaw as well to some degree.
They do this double counters. The Sand King and Drow are like the heroes to go versus the TB, but the bottom lane it can go rough. But this is of course they're again flexing. You know
everything's
the
open.
Thompson Drow, the Sumail Drow, the Thompson Sand King, Saxa Sand King, yada, and they pick up the Mars. They are also flexing. This can be a timber mid. You know,
this is everything.
The Miracle is famous for his, not famous, but he can play a very good timber mid.
Could also just be a 5 Mars. You want to spear the Sand King out of his sandstorm, help the terrorist.
We saw the Razor,
like,
too cute. I think they're gonna stay away from too cute.
Yeah, that's true. Both of these teams are really just kind of showing everything, but like keeping everything so open. Like, I don't know, Nog could be 4, Drow could be mid. Realistically, what OG needs is probably someone who can actually walk into the fight. Everyone right now wants to kind of stand at the back and kind of enable each other. Like, yeah, don't worry, I'll keep you alive. But there's not that one guy who kind of absorbs the damage. Like Nigma, they have a Mars, they have a Timbersaw. They have so many ways to walk up high grounds and start a fight. I think it's maybe where OG could lack some of these kind of.
They need someone to bait for the Sand King spells. Like Sand King, we mostly saw Boxy do it. Like the enemy chase and the Boxy gets like a 4-man epicenter. Pyro Strike just culls everyone. Like this is where Sand King excels. And they banned the Zeus and Monkey King. The Zeus is like one of the best heroes against the TB. And the Thompson is a good Zeus. Yeah. Monkey maybe for like Mars or Timber wants to go mid. I would say Timber. And that's like very good matchup for Monkey, and it's a Thompson Monkey, and we talked about it. You don't want to forget about it.
No. Game 3 as well. Complete comfort. You go for a casual Monkey. Yeah. Oof. Now I respect that, and it simplifies. Like Nigma lost that second game because like their key hero in the game was completely shut down. Just maybe for an outplay, it wasn't like a matchup, and they had to go for the Phoenix. I wasn't expecting Phoenix just because of like Naga and the value of Song here, but they go for it anyway. They value just being able to survive in all their like it literally is a kind of a copy of game 1, right?
The song doesn't matter. Like if you're inside of the arena,
that's true. That's true.
It's just gonna delay that. It's like Mars Phoenix is one of the strongest. Oh, they go for the Razor.
There you go. All right, who's picking what? That's the key thing.
No, not the Razor 5, guys. Don't do it.
It's the Miracle Timber.
It's a 5 Naga.
Yeah.
5 Naga, Saxon Lion.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I think the main thing is like in Dota, like any melee 5 support can enable a ranged carry because you're literally a body. It doesn't matter what you play, right? You're just you exist.
We have in the previous 2 games, there's a little bit of a theme with the mid lane going, either Thompson's or Miracle Wave, depending on who won the game. Razor versus Timbersaw, Milan. Who takes it?
I think Razor has a bit of an edge early levels, but I would say it's a bad matchup for Razor, and I think the team Nigma got this one. I think they got the better core matchups. The way the OG is trying to counter it, I think they're not gonna do it. Like they have 2 range heroes versus the Mars core, and Mars is gonna have a decent lane, and they're gonna be in trouble this game. The Miracle is gonna pop off.
Quick prediction, T?
Fun game. Emulating game 1. OG needs to kind of learn a bit more from that game because Nigma looks scary for sure.
Okay, well, it looks scary. Looks like if we're going to have a remake of game 1, that means 30 kills in 20 minutes. I'm down for that. Our commentary team is ready for that as well. Let's head over to Suns Fan Sindarin.
Hello, Sindarin.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Man, what's going on today with the Dota? The drafting
Good question.
is absolutely crazy today from both teams. So we just went from a 5 Razor to a 5 Naga.
Yeah.
I think neither of those have been played in the entirety of this qualifier, maybe any of the regions. I could be wrong. There might have been like a Razor game, and I haven't watched every game. But very, very rare stuff coming out, and this is obviously 2 teams that have incredible experience with the game in general and against each other. So they try to be creative and come up with something different. I did not think I was going to see a Drow Naga lane today when I woke up, but that could be what I get in the end here. Very interesting stuff from OG.
We're getting closer to TI. That means Naga will be a hero, and it's always been a flex of sorts. You're right. It's been a while since it's been support, but it's not as rare as the position 5 Razor, though. I will say that emphatically. But yeah, you're right. It's the position 5 Naga. We got the position 1 Drow, and mid Razor going to be going against a mid Timbersaw. So, what is that matchup like?
So basically, when OG had the last pick, what they identify is that Nigma have 3 melee cores, and that's why Nigma banned Monkey King, right? Because that's the Thompson go-to in these situations. Right. So then you think, okay, what are the next heroes that are amazing against melee cores? And that's Razor, right? He's the first one that comes to mind. So they pick that. I think Timbersaw is one of the melee heroes that does the best against Razor, simply because when you get levels in reactive armor, you're tanky enough to not get killed. You have a natural way of getting away with the Timber Chain, and you have spell damage, which, that's one of the reasons that Razor loves laning against a hero like TA, is that she can only CS with physical. But something like Timbersaw, you can usually get at least a couple of CS per wave with just spell damage if you get drained. Thompson will obviously drain him no matter what to build an advantage, but I reckon Miracle will do better in this lane than in last game. I don't think he's more favored than last game, but it's harder to screw up, I think.
Not expecting either.
Can't believe I'm
player to
saying that about
really-
Miracle, right? But that last game was just
Yeah.
not good. Like, sometimes it happens, even to the best.
Yeah, it's what we call an anomaly, Cinderman.
Yeah.
But we're seeing Terrorblade yet again. This is a hero that likely will get a few touches in the upcoming patch, whenever that is. But from Nigma's side, aside from the TB, they have the old tried and true Mars ult into Phoenix Egg combo, which I feel like was super popular pre-major and then into the major a bit as well. And I don't know if it's dropped off or maybe like the Wyvern has just taken over everything. This combo is still good, right?
Yeah, it is. I will say... Oh, hang on. GH.
He's getting quite low. Sumail
he's
with the right
dead.
click. Not even needed. Yep. Ends up getting with the
All right,
creeps.
so... Yeah. And we obviously we did not get the Naga Drow lane, which I think would have probably been expectable, because then you have, you know, melee range in both lanes instead of double range and double melee. But I think the call here from OG is, if we put Naga Drow bottom, we're too exploitable. So we're going to make our top lane weaker in order to make sure that our Drow has a good time. And I actually like this idea. I think this was a good choice. Obviously, they get the first blood there too. But yeah, about the Mars Phoenix, I'll say I think Naga is a really good counter, actually, that we're going to see in play here. When that Arena and Supernova get popped, you can Song of the Siren for disengage. You can try to kill the egg. And you know, it's a traditional solution to these AoE ultis to have a support Naga. See Seb getting killed here though. Not having the best time on the Sand King.
Yeah, and since we haven't really
say
seen
the
support
least.
Naga in quite a while, you know, you talk about being a good counter with the song and all, but remember since it is a support, they're not going to be getting a ton of levels on No Tail. And Song of the Siren radius 1,000 at level 1. It ramps up per
That's true.
level. So that's something that you don't really notice in the core roles because they just get those levels so fast. But something to watch for, obviously.
Very true.
But in the mid lane, Thompson 15-5 versus Miracles 14-1. So very, very. This is what we want to see. We don't want to see one person dumpster another. We want to see it very even. We want to see 60 minutes tier 5 items, Cinderin.
Yes,
Very
you do.
We can talk about that in 10 minutes if you'd like. Just remind me, set a timer.
Sure.
As ILTW is going to pop the meta in the top lane. Pressuring Seb just a little bit out here, but are you expecting any lane to be kill heavy this time around?
I think the most likely one is bottom, right? It's the double range Drow Lion against Phoenix Mars, who progress a lot by hitting level 3. Both lanes really do. Lion getting it before GH down here on the Phoenix. You can just see they keep laying into mind control. He's already forced to buy a salve, and now he's sending out a bracer for a little bit of sustain at least. But yeah, that should be the most likely kill lane. Like, Thompson is going to keep doing this in mid, and Miracle will be like, wow, this is really annoying. And I'm going to wait it out and try to get CS with Whirling Death. I'm actually surprised he's attacking the creeps. He currently has -5 damage, so it's not even doing anything.
I feel like if you have minus damage, you should heal when you attack. That's my change log for next
That makes
patch, if
a
I
lot
struggle
of no
with them.
sense.
I mean, there's a lot of things that don't make sense in Dota, Cinder, and you don't ask questions.
That is
then.
true.
If Icestrog did it, you'd be like, oh, okay, sure. But it's because I suggested you hate it. Just throwing it
Yeah,
out there.
that's generally how it goes when a smart person suggests something against when a not so smart person suggests something. Usually they think the smart
God.
person has a better idea.
I really set you up for that one. I apologize for giving you such an easy one. But yeah, Drow Ranger Cinderin. I'm very excited to see some male Drow. How does that hero fare in this matchup against TB? Like when we get to
one of
mid
the
to
better
late game?
carries, for sure, because of marksmanship. Terrorblade will always play from range, so marksmanship will be active and it can pierce him. So it is just traditionally one of the best carries at dealing with it. The concern that I have for Sumail in this game actually is not coming from a core perspective. It's the Venge. I think that is a really good hero against Drow. Swapping Drow out of position feels so bad. Like, this hero is extremely dependent on standing in the backlines, and they have a hero that can handle it. Kuro probably needs level 2 ult, so it's gonna take some time. But any good swap on Drow can determine a team fight, or at the very least force out like Song of the Siren, for example. So
Yeah, and that's a
when
really
they're
long
AoE combo.
cooldown. I mean, you could have Burrow Strike initiation, I guess. Oh, nice impale in the bot lane. Sumail's going to turn around with this multi-shot. Very nicely played. Man, that was on point. As my control just going to get harassed to the outskirts of the lane here. ILTW, though, Gets Seb's courier. For a second, I thought that was Seb himself, but he is a scorpion and not that cute little courier.
Dude, imagine if the couriers were as big as heroes. That would be menacing.
That it depends on what. I mean, it could be very cuddly. If it was a huge cat, that's a different story. I'd love that. Let's add that to the changelog, Cinder. I know you have a list for Ice Frog in the upcoming patch. He's listening to you every time.
Yes, yes. Bigger
Appreciate
couriers,
that.
got it. Nerf fountain, okay.
No. Come on.
Make courier, make fountain a cat. Yes, understood.
But we should obviously talk about the implications of this match. As Kuro getting harassed here by No-Tail, the magic missile off. But the winner of this is Thompson. Okay, gets the static link briefly onto GH, but looks like he'll be no worse for wear. And all right, Kuro, with the help of ILTW, going to try to turn this onto No-Tail. Looks like that'll be an easy kill, blocking him with Kuro's body there. But winner of this goes to face Tundra of all teams. Not that that is a shock, I guess, but I figured one of these two teams, I don't know if I speak for you as well, either Nigma or OG, I figured they'd be in the upper bracket, but it is Tundra.
Yep.
And whoever loses will not be going to TI, Syndrin. Do you have...
And there's...
Do you think Tundra have the advantage versus both teams?
I think it's probably going to be close. Tundra definitely has looked better, but I think perhaps with the experience of playing against them and their strategies, I think whoever faces them will look better than they did earlier. But yeah, Tundra has been looking really good, so probably still favoring them going in, but I would not be shocked to see them getting truly tested and even losing in the finals eventually. But let's just quickly go over how historical this game is going to be no matter who wins, right? So one of two things will happen. Either Kuro will miss TI as a player for the first time ever. That's 10 years.
Speaking of Kuro,
as he is
dead.
now getting killed by his position 5 from last game, the Razor. Either Kuro will miss his first TI ever as a player, or OG will not go for the first time since they were OG and they won TI twice in a row. So, you know, it's pretty crazy. The stakes in this are probably, from like a Dota history standpoint, this might be the single craziest lower bracket game we've ever had in a qualifier.
I would I definitely agree. Now, keep in mind that
actually
other
insane,
teams
the players
that
will miss TI.
Other teams that have won TI, I know it's not twice, but have in some cases have not made it to TI. I think Wings is one of them. I think there's another one on top of that. I can't think of it on the top of my head, but so it has happened.
You mean the following year?
Yeah, the following year. Correct.
Sumail.
Yeah. Well, Miracle. Oh, he's gonna get Hex mid Timber Chain. There's a lot of damage to withstand as Thompson's ult is popped right now. Timber Chain on the other side now, but he's completely surrounded with the Ensnare and the Impale. Nicely done from OG. That definitely helps Thompson out quite a bit. You can look at his net worth right
so
now.
toxic.
Oh you and these voice lines, Cinder. Get with it. This is lower bracket, okay? Take it seriously.
I know. Well, I mean, I gotta highlight it, right? Because the teams have definitely muted each other. So, you know, they're not hearing it.
That's probably
There's
true.
like literally no way.
That's probably
I think playing against OG and not muting their players is like... It's
Griefing
definitely
yourself.
negative win rate right there. Don't do that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so OG, or Nigma rather, tried to make a move bottom onto Sumail, but Mind Control missed the God's Rebuke in the start, and they actually needed that bit of damage to kill Sumail when he TP'd out, so pretty big. OG now with a relatively commanding lead, especially...
Miracle. This is going to be a full duration static link. They won't be able to kill him, but this is going to be a lot of CS for Thompson here in the mid lane. He's actually rushing a BKB first item. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it.
That's pretty cool.
I like it a lot for their lineup. They want a frontliner to come out of mid and just run at people so they can hit their stuns. Thompson can't die in this game when he's BKB to anything else than the Terrorblade. Well,
he's gonna get
not
magic
BKB
missile for
currently,
now.
and he's diving the tower, so that was...
Reflection. Everybody has come to play, and Thompson, literally all 5 members of Team Nigma. Goodness gracious.
Thought he was playing Ember Spirit, but didn't have a Remnant, so... That's... That was weird.
I mean, to be fair, he does play heroes that have a lot of mobility, Cinder, so Razor
Yeah,
not
he
exactly
does.
the first hero I think of. When
I think another thing, this is probably Thompson's highest CS all year at 10 minutes, so he needs to get down to his normal level. CS per minute was too high.
Defense here, but Mind Control comes out of nowhere with that Mars Arena. Sumail stuck inside the Rebuke will keep him safe, but there you see the song. No tail in the area. Oh, okay, swap, but the gust will miss. Looks like Kuroki's going to get fingered either way, though. No tail's going to be the trade at the very least. Seb jumps in. This is a huge team fight at the beginning of the game. The Tier 1 tower is being focused by ILTW. He will get it successfully. Objective-based gamer over here, but it's going to cost them mind control at the very least. So a 2-for-1. Very strange fight. ILTW didn't even bother crossing that line there, Cinder, as they might. If they get Miracle, this will be huge. Timber Chains, Seb pursuing. Soxa's in the area, but Thompson has another Plasma Field in 2 seconds. Needs to stay on the outskirts, and the Burrow Strike cancels the TP. 3 kills, even though one already has revived. Oh, gee, what a defense. Of course,
Samael solo kills GH too. Oh boy,
basically
yeah,
a team wipe, not including ILTW, but the Tier 1 was lost.
I honestly think it was a really good call from ILTW to not dive in there and try to fight. I think that was just reckless, and it's showing maybe a little bit of... I wouldn't say inexperience on Nigma's part. It's just probably been a really long time since they've played against Naga, right? Like it's just not maybe something you think about intuitively in the correct manner. Kuro's mega dead here, by the way. He does no tango, so he's not getting out of
GH
there.
is here though. Gets the Sunray off.
Yeah. But they went too far there, Nigma, in the mid lane. There's just too much defense from OG out of that Song of the Siren, and they turn it around and get some easy kills. Kuro ends up in a really awkward position, swaps the Drow, but doesn't really set anything up with it.
The Hex on the mid dive, but they're not going to follow it up with anything as Soxa.
These leads for OG are insane, actually. Sand King is
4K.
2,500 gold ahead of the Mars, and now Timber is also 1,500 behind the Razor. So the only player that's really keeping up with the opposition is the Terrorblade of ILTW, and that makes sense, because he has 100 CS, 2 kills, 2 assists, and hasn't died. He's just farming and prioritizing that. But they're losing the fights badly, and now they might find the grand prize in mid.
Kill, Cinderin. Impale into Burrow Strike. Do they have the finger? The swap save from Kuro, but the multi-shot from afar, it's not quite enough to take out ILTW. He does have Sunder as well. Let's see if he wants to use it on a teammate as the egg is being focused. So down goes GH. And Sumail forcing Miracle out yet again. And they're going to try to go for this Tier 1 tower. Man, that is a lot of damage to Kuro. Thompson not able to clean it up with the Plasma Field, but...
If only they had Mind Control there, that would have been amazing for Nigma. But obviously, OG no. Mind Control is showing in the top lane. He had TP on cooldown, he had no mana. So they are very ready to go here. Sumail with that double damage will take the tower. And at the rate this game is going, Nigma are going to need a good team fight sometime soon, because these heroes are ramping up way too fast for the Terrorblade to handle this alone. Oh no. He's caught. There's Finger.
Yeah. So that's a death that just, it can't happen. This is now a 5k net worth lead for OG at 13 minutes. Are you freaking, this is crazy. There's not an alchemist in the game. There's no weird like inflation with the gold. They're just getting crushed.
Yeah, I would definitely not have expected this game to be so one-sided for either team at this point in time, but OG are just totally outplaying them.
Does have to be careful here. This would be a really big kill for Nigma. Of course, he doesn't have his BKB. He's still a couple hundred away. Gets swapped back into the fray. He's going to get the kill, but it's going to be a trade that, I mean, again, Thompson being just over-aggressive, it feels like. And yeah, that... I mean, he loses a couple hundred gold here, so he's going to be 300 now behind the 8 ball in terms of getting that BKB, but feels a little bit less disciplined than we're used to seeing, but either way, still have a massive lead for OG. Oh, nice deny in the bot lane from GH. So, from Nigma's side, do they need to start getting aggressive? Is there a power spike incoming? I mean, Blink Dagger is going to be pretty important for mind control, but still basically 1,000 away from finishing that.
Yeah, I do think that's still the timing that you're aiming for, though. You need this big team fight set up so that Phoenix can have a major impact, and you can set up your Terrorblade as well. What OG are probably going to do is just play fast and keep looking for skirmishes, right? Like, they're rolling, and it's clear that Nigma are not interested in fighting currently. They're having a way more defensive posture. Their heroes aren't fully ready and online yet. So knowing OG, they get really hungry when they sense that the game is going like that, and they will look for more moves. This top tier 1 tower is definitely the next objective.
Yeah, and Sumail is there to take it as mind control, yeah, in the area, but not looking to set anything up. Just wants to make sure that he survives. Maybe push a little wave here to make sure they can't go any further, but Still 700 away from finishing Blink Dagger for himself. Meanwhile, Seb is sitting on 1,700 current gold while already having Blink Dagger, and now he's taking some stacks. Looks like Yules is on the menu for him. Speaking of being hungry. And Thompson. So he does have his BKB now. He actually cancels his TP. They want to go on top of Miracle here. Soxa, all right, has the Earth Spike. Seb, Burrow Strike to follow. No, he's going to get stunned in the meantime. Chocolate
good double!
Well. 3 heroes stuck there. Seb on the outskirts gets popped. Thompson trying to go for this egg. Looks like he'll get it at the very least, but it's inside the Mars Arena now. But the BKB allows him to go back inside. He's getting right-clicked from afar by ILTW. OG now on the run. Mind Control. Spear not able to hit, but Thompson has to change directions thanks to Miracle jumping in. Rebuke. One more right-click should do it. A huge kill for Nigma. And OG now giving up some valuable kills on the sideline. Multi-shot is enough to take out Kuroki. And now Miracle, wrong place, wrong time. Finger of death from Soxa. And that is enough as Sumail is cleaning up. Naga, okay, the song was there, but yeah, he got out of range of Mind Control.
Tried to reach the Terror Blaze, so then the Mars got out.
Yeah, we talked about that range. Still level 1.
Absolutely noticeable there. Only the 1k range on level 1. But yeah, that, like you said, that looked pretty good for Nigma, but then Miracle overdiving a bit. It has been happening a couple of times in today's games. In the first game on Invoker, even though he had an outstanding performance with some insane spellcasting, there were these couple of moments that get really high intensity and very stressful for them. And you can't help but feel like you're right about what you said earlier, that it's just playing against OG, right? Like the tempo and the intensity that the games have, just it's like forced errors, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really what it feels like. And Sumail came in with a nice flank too. But...
Yeah, and Yules is now online for Seb. He is working on the Shivas next. I mean, even Soxa almost has his Blink Dagger, so 4k net worth lead. So they've kind of stabilized a bit here from Nigma's side, I want to say. Because that was snowballing out of control. It was, what, 6k? And it went down to 2k or 3k. So they're at least not getting snowball on right now. But then again, Soxa is in the area to try to set something up here. Finger of Death is down, though, for quite a while. And from ILTW's perspective, has the Dragonlance Yasha. I think the Manta's on the way. Yeah, Recipe's on the courier, so we'll have the Manta style. And then the all-important Blink Dagger for Mind Control is up. So, is this the time? Do you want to maybe wait for OG? I mean, it's easier said than done. Try to go for Roche and then contest it since you have such a good team against it, which will be now.
They do realize it though. They're TPing in and trying to smoke.
Yeah, they have Arena Egg.
I don't know if they're going to be in time. No, they're baiting Miracle. They don't realize this is happening at all, actually, unless they're too late.
Too late.
Dead.
Yeah, Miracle somewhat close, but not close enough, it seems. That is the Aegis for Sumail. And Miracle already only has half mana here. Has a Soul Ring available, but yeah, you're right. That looked like a clear bait that was not bitten by OG. I feel like they would have taken it if Roche was not available. That is, feels like
could
OG's
have worked,
prerogative.
maybe, yeah. That's also one of the nice things about Naga Siren, right? Is your ability to go to Roche. Like, a lot of the times in these games, a lot gets decided there. Naga is one of the best supports in the Roche pit at all, because you can start the Roche with Drow there, and you have the big feeling of safety that if you do get jumped, you have a reset button to get out and reposition and maybe turn around the fight and win. I think there's a really big part of the decision there from OG to go for Roche is that they have Naga. Because their lineup isn't inherently very good at killing Roshan, but that safety factor really makes a big difference. Right, No-Tell has Meteor Hammer.
Oh
Interesting
boy!
Stuff. Song and a Hammer. A classic. A timeless classic.
Yeah, that's not the words I would use for that, but the meme hammer build, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where you do have to time it if you want to actually, like, make sure they can't do anything about it, right? Song into actual Meteor Hammer. There's like a special trick to it.
I think you can always BKB, right?
Yeah,
there was
BKB,
a time when you couldn't BKB it because it was frame perfect out of Song if you pressed it in a specific way. I believe now that is impossible, so you can always get BKB off.
Any mobility spells will.
Dude, it's been
definitely
so
have
long
issues.
since I've seen a Naga with Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute for sure. As Sumail gonna focus on the tier 2 bot, he outranges it right now, so good to go. As ooh, all right, GH spots out Soxa. He's gonna get out the Earth Spike, but
great
actually the swap is there. It's gonna be an easy kill on Soxa, but he gets the Finger of Death before his untimely death. Thompson looking for the egg instead. He'll get it. Mind Control a little bit late as a double burrow strike from Seth. Beautifully done. His Mind Control just getting decimated within the arena itself. Miracle ends up cleaning 7 turn though, so it's a 2 for 2. And after all that, Kuroki somehow lived, despite being the one that was originally gone on. Still, Aegis online for Sumail, so...
If MC connects a little bit earlier there in the arena, maybe they save the egg and that's big, but good play from OG to immediately identify that that was a killable supernova. That could have got really scary. It's always, when you commit to try to kill the egg there, if it gets saved, it's way worse than if you had never tried, because you kind of just have killed your own team, but... they do pull it off and get out, so relatively even trade across the board. And I do think Nigma should be happy with that. Like, the game has been looking really grim for them for quite a while, but they're slowly but steadily getting there over time. Like, Miracle's starting to get an item now, close to that Halberd. Terrorblade Scotty is not too far away. GH got his Yules because they delayed. So some things are coming up, but I think OG should still feel very comfortable if they do get to fight right now, especially with no Supernova and Arena. It would be a great timing. But guess what? Arena, it's ready again, because it's been 4 seconds, but the Supernova isn't ready. So,
Indeed.
Bottom tower's down.
But Song is up now. No-Tail now level 12, so he'll get that extra range. And, okay, average Roche taken at 25 minutes. Oh, OG it. Interesting. Interesting statistic there. I like these kind of stats that are revolved around Roshan. As
You love everything about Roshan.
Roshan, Shards, Ags, I love it. Roshan needs a sister, I think. Or a wife.
Roshana.
Or if you're from the south, both. Anyway, Sumail has the Aegis, and he's going for this tier 2 in the mid lane. Aegis still in tow. He's going for the BKB now. And obviously has a Hurricane Pike Manta. He is quite strong. But then again, if you look at ILTW, he is right on par, Synderen. As a Hurricane Pike Manta, and instead of the... he's going for Scotty next, which... This is the more typical Terrorblade build.
It is. I think this is the tried and true default build that you deviate from when you have a good reason to, and I think in this game he doesn't. Like, Lance, Manta, Scotty looks solid, and then it's telling what he goes next. Sometimes, oh, hang on.
Oh,
they're gonna try Miracle here.
Into
no
the Meteor
way.
Hammer. Yeah, maybe they're just trying to force them out here. No-Tail, again, still has a Song. Gust keeping them at bay. Thompson now has the BKB. He's working on the Assault here, so they're focusing on ILTW. He's going to get swapped to safety, though. GH still has the egg. They're going to blow up Kuro at the very least. Thompson's BKB is now out. Plasma Field. Oh, the spear. The egg on the high ground as well. But there's the Song. Thompson is going to be saved. The egg does hit No-Tail, though. Song is still going because she has a very loud voice. No Burrow Strike. Mind Control is getting focused now. Wrong place, wrong time for him. Finger of Death bursts him down. So a 2 for nothing is OG. When we saw Nigma, you talked about it. They were clawing their way back in, but now it's back to a 5K network lead for OG. Good save from No-Tail.
Yeah, the Naga factor is actually so noticeable. You can tell Nigma don't want to combine all their spells together because they're just going to get songed and be out of steam. Mind Control held the arena the whole time. He never arena'd the Razor that he pinned to the base wall. Maybe he thought they could kill him without it. And honestly, he would have got away. He could have just TP'd after the song instead of standing or running away. So it wouldn't even have worked with the arena. And definitely an issue for Nigma that they can't reliably get on the Naga in any possible way. Like, none of their lineup will get there and get that kill. The only hero that's mobile is Timber, and, you know, Naga will just run away. He's too tanky.
I'm just really impressed the fact that ILTW is able to keep the farm up here, despite his team kind of being... I mean, look at the map control right now for OG. And then again, we've seen a lot of Terrorblades just form out of control. This hero just feels like it's on another level. With these illusions going to town. And he's getting pretty close to that Scotty. Not too far away. Just like 300-400 gold. Mind Control working on the BKB for himself as well. So, does OG just wait for Roche number 2? Is that the play?
I definitely think they could. They have good enough map control and good enough scaling that I don't think they worry too much about... See, compared to game number 1, that's a big difference, right? Because in game 1, when they had their Chen strategy, it felt like, okay, eventually when Nigma gets big enough, this is going to get hard. In this game, I think OG can win this even after 60 minutes. Like, their lineup has Drow and Razor in late game, can be super strong with their talents and the right itemization. You've got Sanking, who's an excellent late-game offlaner because of the low cooldown on the stun, and when BKBs get low, you get multiple of them off in a fight if you play it well. Lion, maybe one of the best scaling supports in the game. So definitely not lacking on the options here, so just take it easy if they want to.
And I think this is a storyline that we talk about with other teams that I don't think it really comes into play here, where nerves can get the, like Tundra, this would be a great example for them. A lot of players have not gotten to, this is to go to TI Center, but both of these teams so experienced. Yeah. That is not a thing at all. Is get a smoke here from Team Nigma. Oh, Broken is looking for an opening. He's just going to get blown up instead. Actually will live for now. No Tail gets the song to counter everything.
This hammer, though.
From Team Nigma.
Okay.
Yeah, what is going on with the hammer? As the egg comes out, you can see the shard is already picked up by him as ILTW with the meta focusing on top scene. He's going to be able to get it as the egg goes off as well. Nice impale from Soxa, but a big epicenter onto 2. Down goes ILTW, a huge initiation from Seb, and that's going to cost them 3 and make it 4 with Kuroki dropping to the deck. And this is likely to be a full team wipe if they're able to get Miracle here. Seb is actually going to stay alive throughout all of this. What a crazy counter initiation, turning into an ultra kill for Sumail. My God, Seb.
That was bizarre. Like, what an insane song. They were so stacked up in their own arena. He starts channeling the Meteor Hammer, and nothing happens. Like, it just hits the ground. They're all still asleep for another 4 seconds. There was no combo at all. But it didn't matter. It set up Seb for ultimate success to get that song out. And they just run away with it. Sumail, 11-0, gets an ultra kill in that fight, and he's knocking on high ground, getting tier 3. They're going to respect the respawns here and back up. But 12,000 gold. Such a huge moment for OG.
That one fight doubled their lead in terms of net worth.
That was
and now they're going to get even more out of it because they're farming the jungle. And like you said, Roche is going to be the next thing on the menu. So 17 seconds to go. There's a DD top. If they see this along with Roche in a few seconds, this will be a hard thing to contest for Team Nigma. And we're talking about ILTW, no meta for 55 seconds. So there is plenty of time to get all of this.
Yep.
See if they scout it out. So Roche is up. This is the Shard Roche. DD. It's
dare
bottled.
I say it, between the wacky position 5s of Naga and Razor, one has looked a little bit better than the other in this series.
You make it sound like I know that Naga hasn't been picked as support lately, but historically she's been a support.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just different, right? But you can really see why OG put it support this game and what it accomplished. It's been super impactful.
They get the Aegis, they get the cheese, they get the shard. Okay, Finger of Death, but there's the swap onto ILTW into the song. Seb, all right, we're going to see the Meteor Hammer with the epicenter to follow. They just want to focus on GH. He's getting really low, and a multi-shot finishes him off after the Yule. He'll buy back into the game, though. Still has his egg. Mind control, just on the wrong place of the terrain here. And he's going to have to buy back as well. But these Team Nigma members are dropping like flies, Cinderin. As the impale from 2, oh my God, the ensnare to follow. They have to get ILTW out of here if they're able to get to TI. This is the big moment right now, but the egg goes down. ILTW has his Sunder available. He's so freaking low. Thompson, but there's the Burrow Strike from Seb. That is a dieback. Oh my goodness, Miracle now. This looks to be it, Cinderin. It looks like OG are going to the grand finals, and Team Nigma, the last finalist at TI9, will not be going to TI at all. Unreal.
It's so crazy. It's like no matter what the outcome of this series is, it's just insane, right? Like, we knew that when the qualifier started that this was going to happen, and it still feels so... It still feels so crazy when it does. Like, we can't be surprised, right? One of these we're not going, but still, it feels like it really catches you off guard somehow. But man, what a game from OG. They played super well this game. So good coordination. I've been